The book of Daniel in the Bible is full of remarkable stories and prophetic visions. One of the most well-known stories is that of King Nebuchadnezzar and his encounter with the God of Israel. In Daniel 4, we see a powerful king humbled by a dream and ultimately transformed by the power and grace of God. Nebuchadnezzar was the ruler of Babylon, one of the most powerful kingdoms at that time. He had conquered many nations and was known for his great wealth and achievements. In verse 4, he describes himself as contented and prosperous in his palace. However, all of that changed when he had a terrifying dream that left him afraid and seeking answers. The king called for all the wise men in Babylon to interpret his dream, but none could do so. It was then that Daniel, a Jewish exile who served in the king's court, was summoned. Daniel was known for his wisdom and his ability to interpret dreams through the power of God. The king even acknowledges that the spirit of the holy gods is in him. Daniel listened to the king's dream and interpreted it for him. In his dream, Nebuchadnezzar saw a great tree that provided food and shelter for all creatures, but a messenger from heaven commanded for it to be cut down. The interpretation given by Daniel was that the tree represented the king and his kingdom. The message from God was that Nebuchadnezzar would be humbled and driven away from his kingdom until he acknowledged that the Most High is sovereign over all kingdoms on earth. True to Daniel's interpretation, the events in King Nebuchadnezzar's life unfolded just as God had revealed through the dream. The once proud and powerful king was reduced to living like an animal in the wilderness for 7 years. However, in verse 34, we see the turning point in this story. Nebuchadnezzar lifted his eyes to heaven, and his sanity was restored. He praised and honored God, recognizing that all of his power and success came from the Most High. This story teaches us several valuable lessons. Firstly, it reminds us that no one is above the power and sovereignty of God. Despite being a powerful king, Nebuchadnezzar could not escape the consequences of his actions. It is a sobering reminder for us to always submit to God and give him the glory for all that we have. Secondly, it shows us the importance of humility. Nebuchadnezzar's pride was the root of his downfall. He had become too focused on his own achievements and forgot to acknowledge God as the source of his success. In contrast, Daniel remained humble throughout the story and was exalted by God for his faithfulness. Lastly, this story demonstrates the transformative power of God's grace. Despite all that Nebuchadnezzar had done, God showed him mercy and restored him when he turned to him in repentance. It is a reminder that no matter how far we may have strayed from God, he is always ready to welcome us back with open arms.